Hey guys, welcome to Hunky's World. What a stinking day. I checked my informed delivery this morning, which is, it tells you if you mail or not. From the post office. Free service. You get it via email. Well, yesterday my medicine came in. Today, I get jury duty. Ouch. Too bad I have a lifetime exemption from jury duty for my disabilities. So once the card actually gets here, because I'm not going out there, that's why I'm wearing this, because it is barely above freezing. It is going into a wind chill advisory tomorrow morning, and yeah, my hair is probably a hot mess. I didn't get a chance to take a bath last night because I was at women's group at Bible study. So, and Jesus takes precedent over washing my hair. So, what the heck? And so yeah, and I learned something. I've been watching Andre, which I will review when I finish the video. On the back, it says PlayStation 2 compatible. That means I could have watched it on my PlayStation. Probably would have come in a little bit better. I've got to figure out why everybody looks like the Incredible Hulk on my DVD VCR combo unit. Any ideas, let me know in the comments, but everybody looks like the Incredible Hulk. They're incredibly green. I am in the process, as you can see in the background, maybe, right there, of finishing up the editing for February. I do have a couple of cases for Murderous March. And I have an interesting case for Adult April. So, and I have, of course, those cases that I set aside from January to put in somewhere. I mistakenly thought March didn't have a theme. March does have a theme. So, it's Murderous March. I'm going to take my medication. I'm going to go get a juice. This is the one the label came out from. Oh, I have a new rub that I'm going to try on my pork, so I'll take you along with me on that. But yeah, I may have to move the DVD over to the PlayStation now that I know it plays DVDs. I knew some video game consoles played DVDs, but I didn't, for some reason, I didn't think the early ones did. I should have known better. When I got my first DVD, I didn't have a DVD player. got a Rey Mysterio DVD for Christmas. And I went over to my neighbor the next day. My father got me a DVD player, but you needed to make sure the DVD worked and everything. And because I don't know what my father was thinking. In terms of how I was going to watch it. He must have had an idea in his head. My mother must have had an idea in hers. But anyway. And my neighbor said, I can throw it in my game console. I'm like, really? So apparently, they all play DVDs. So I love my Bible study, but I come home miserable because I am allergic to dogs. And there are 3. They're good dogs. Moose almost knocked me downstairs. Moose just wants love. But Moose is so named because he's the biggest chocolate lab you've ever seen in your life. I said, you sure he's a pure lab? Not mixed with something bigger? Like a Rottweiler? It's a huge dog. And I asked her, I said, you sure he's not mixed with something bigger? And she said, they're breeding labs to be larger, which is giving them, of course, hip and knee problems. Because they've decided they want them taller so they can see over bushes. Even though they're a retriever. Lazy owners, if you ask me. They just want to see them from further away so they don't have to walk up to their dogs. You know, when they're retrieving. You should be able to call a retriever back, or a retriever should be able to go grab the bird and come back without an issue on their own. If they're well trained, you shouldn't need to see them. Just my opinion. But most retrievers today, whether they be Labradors, which can be a yellow lab, it can be a chocolate lab, a black lab, or a golden retriever, those dogs should come right back. But a golden retriever is a little bit bigger than a lab. Anyway, they're a little bit taller and they're bigger around. Of course, they have more fur because their fur is long and long. Oh, speaking of long fur, it is so funny. Animal Planet used to host one of the dog shows, and every year before the show they would have commercials. And one of the commercials that they had was you'd see this gorgeous, shiny, long hair that looked like a woman's hair up close. And then they would pull back, and it would be an Afghan hound. It's so funny. You think, oh, when you look real quick, you think, oh, it must be a shampoo commercial. And then they pull back, and it's an Afghan hound. For those of you who don't know, an Afghan hound has long hair that's like almost parted in the middle. on their heads, and it's different than most dog hair. It's more like hair, and they take some grooming. uh, my favorite dog takes a ton of grooming, and that's the Old English Sheepdog. Um, I personally wouldn't want to have to groom it, as lovable and loving and sweet as they are. Although um, some breeders are not doing a good job, and some aggressiveness is coming out in uh, OESs now, um, because some unethical breeders are not doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, OESs are the kind of dogs that are literally quiet. They barely bark. I mean, if they're chasing the sheep, they might go woof. Literally, they don't have a. It's funny when you hear them bark because their bark doesn't fit their size. And a Saint Bernard has a deep woof kind of a bark that if you didn't know it was a Saint Bernard on the other side of the door, you might hesitate to open that door. If you knew it was a Saint Bernard, you knew you'd get licked to death. But and for the most part, an Old English Sheepdog is a very loving dog. I happen to have grown up with one. A family friend was a dog officer, and she had one. She also had a dog called a Basenji, which is known as the barkless dog. They howl and stuff, but they don't bark. They're not capable of barking. So they can't woof woof. You know what I mean? They can ow, but they can't woof woof, if that makes sense. I've probably told you this before, but I watch Life with Malamutes. Those are enormous dogs, just enormous. And they have 3 of them: Phil, Nico, and Teddy. Plus, on weekends, they have the husband's teenage sister's golden retriever, Buddy. And they have a Maine Coon cat, Milo. Oh, they have a house full of fur. And they do groom all those dogs. Phil has alopecia because he has Cushing's disease, which is something that humans get too. It's has to do with cortisone and how your body makes it. And one of the signs is alopecia. And it took a long time for him to get the proper diagnosis. Specialist vets and a whole lot of money. He is starting to grow some of his fur back. When the fur dies, it turns yellow. So Phil is yellow instead of black and white like a typical Malamute. Teddy is a show dog. That's why Teddy hasn't been fixed. The other 2, Phil and Nico, were fixed. Nico, she's just gorgeous. But because she's fixed, she can't be a show dog. She would have blown him away in the show ring. I mean, she's so well behaved that literally a 3-year-old can walk her. Can hold her lead, her leash, and walk her. No problem. They call her Mama Nika, or Mama Neeks, because she has that mother instinct. And I also watch Millie Pert Husky. It was named for Millie and Rupert. They're both Huskies. Although Millie, when they did a DNA test, Rupert came back as pure Husky, and Millie came back as Husky and Malamute. Which makes sense, because Millie's bigger, Millie's fluffier. I don't know how to explain it. She's, well, chunkier than Rupert was. But yeah, she was mostly Husky, but part Malamute. She's dealing with some arthritis now. She's getting older. Rupert unfortunately passed away at the end of last year. They have a new Husky puppy, Humphrey. His coloring is gorgeous. I mean, he's not going to stay that color. He's going to be, you know, gray and white, like a Husky. But as a baby, he's like a white and reddish color on top of his head, like a reddish color. But he's not going to stay that color. And a cream color all over his body. They said Millie was the same color when she was a baby. So, Millie is very much a mom. The baby will feed her treats. It's so funny. She's a year old now, a little over a year old. Let's see. She was born about 13 months. And she will feed Millie her treats. And it's so funny because she'll just hold it up and Millie will take it out of her hand very gently. Millie sits by the high chair and waits for treats. Used to do the same thing with Parker. They have three. They have Cade, Parker, and Daisy. They're engaged now. I believe they got engaged right before the pandemic hit. So they didn't end up getting married. Life of Malamutes are already married. I'm trying to think. And I think you guys should check out these channels, you know, if you're dog lovers, because you'll love the way these dogs are cared for. You really will. I wouldn't watch them if the dogs weren't well taken care of. So, are there any other dog channels I watch? I don't think so. I watch Sherpa occasionally, and I watch Keyers. All of these are out of England. That one's done. Eyes. Sorry, my eyes are dried out. I don't know why. They are all out of England. Oh, excuse me. Oh, jeepers. So yeah, I love those channels, and I love the dog shows. Unfortunately, I don't get to see the dog shows much anymore. Oh my goodness, my eyes. Okay, this is Ronald Tip. Renewed. I also love Wade's Ventures, especially Grandma Ventures. This case is nuts. Okay, that's the one I just did. 8. I just think Grandma's so cool. She is a year younger than my mom. A lot better health. She is Wade's mom, and his wife Ashley is part of it as well. She mostly just edits. She will show up at units with him now and then. Those are not my favorite videos, because to me, and this isn't, I'm not putting anybody down, I'm just saying that to me, personally, Ashley doesn't have a lot of personality. I think she shows more of it when Grandma Ventures is around, but when it's just her and Wade, she's very soft-spoken. She doesn't... I think the problem is she's very shy. And she doesn't really want to be on camera, if that makes sense. I think that's what it is. And you know what? That's okay. Wade, on the other hand, is very outgoing, gregarious, is perfect in front of the camera. Kind of like me. No, no, I am. I'm outgoing. I'm gregarious. But not everybody is. Grandma Ventures is hilarious. Her chemistry with her son is amazing. She lives with her son and his family, which is awesome for the grandchildren, you know. So, and Grandma has her own channel, which she mostly does auctions on. There are a couple of videos with her bird that I can't wait to see. I have in my playlist to see. Like I said, I love watching Wade and Grandma. When it's really hot out, Grandma won't go to the units. She has a hard time with heat, which makes sense. So yeah, I spent most of the day yesterday working on cases. And that's probably what I'll do today. Like I said, we do have a cooking video coming up. I will be cooking a piece of pork with a rub that I got. I need somehow to get bread. I have no bread. But I can't go out. It's too cold. So I'm going to have to keep trying to get hold of my friend to get bread. And of course, probably tomorrow, I will review this Andre the Giant DVD, which I think, I was reading the back of it, it says 2004, but it's hosted by Lord Alfred Hayes. So I think that it may have been a Coliseum video before that. I'm not sure. I showed it to you anyway. Look at this black and white. Like I said, everybody kind of, well, most of it's in black and white. But in the color portions, everyone looks like the Incredible Hulk, as I was saying. So I've got to figure out why that is. I got to do some research and figure out why my 3D player is making everybody look like the Hulk. And I'm not kidding. They are green, green, green. We're talking deep forest green. Well, maybe slightly brighter. Like the leaves on a spring tree. Green. So, like I said, it's not an issue for most of the DVD because a lot of the older matches are in black and white. Because it's Andre. Yeah, it's a little strange to, I mean, Andre's already a giant. Then you turn him green and he looks like the Jolly Green Giant. Literally. Last time I checked, Andre wasn't made of broccoli. No, I'm sorry. The Jolly Green Giant was an asparagus. Sprout was broccoli. But he was not either one of those, but that's the color he appears to be. So. Then you have pale as a ghost, Lord Alfred Hayes, blonde hair, utterly green. So yeah, it's interesting to say the least. But I am going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Please watch from beginning to end. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to the people who actually suffered through my singing. I appreciate that. Please share the video. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.